Grab your girls and soar a little higher. Unlock the fire in you, 'cause real women don't bitch. No, real women don't. 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 Real women don't bitch.
Hey, thank you for joining me on the Real Women Don't Bitch podcast. This is your proud host, August Crenshaw, aka Mrs. Raw, Real, and Relentless. I am the #1 advanced mental conditioning specialist for entrepreneurs because building mental muscle is necessary in order to implement successful business strategies. This show has been created for the woman who is not excuse-driven and needs help building a profitable business. I will be interviewing women from various fields who are willing to break the silence on struggles that specifically affect female entrepreneurs. Welcome to a show where I and guest speakers from time to time share our methods that help us beast our business no matter what is going on in our lives. Whether you are an online or brick and mortar business owner, this show is for you. We will hit every angle, personal, professional, and spiritual. Why? Because on any given day, you get hit with shit from a scenario involving one, more, or perhaps all of the above. It all impacts you and your mindset towards your business. I have made it my personal mission to provide a space where we dive deep into the BS we face on a day-to-day basis. Hey ladies, how are you doing? Oh, it's been a wild last couple of 2 weeks, and you're going to learn a lot from my last couple of 2 weeks because of an experience that I had with a former client. And today I want you to do a quality insurance check over your business and say, do I really have my shit in order? Or am I winging a lot of things that are really important? And I'm going to explain to you why this is. And the example that I'm going to use, a lot of you may be like, oh, well, that's not me. That's not my issue. But it's just the principle about doing things decent and in order. And if that's not your thing, then the question, is what is it? And typically I probably wouldn't have, I might not even have brought this subject matter to the forefront. But when I see people that have been in business for 5, 10, 15, 20, almost, 30 years doing the kind of stuff that I see happening, it's like, wow. So we really have to have these conversations, something as simple as contracts. And so I had this client that I was working with, and she was like, oh my God, I got this event going on and I'm working with this woman and she's out of the country and, she hasn't given me any feedback and we're not talking to each other and yada, yada, yada. And then she started doing her whole, spiritual woo-woo thing. Energetically, I'm just starting to feel like things are off. And so as she was talking to me or whatever and saying what the issue was, I was like, well, okay, so here's my question. What does the contract say? We don't have that. So hold up. You mean to tell me that you're working on an event that you've been hounding people to pay you $10,000 to be able to attend this event, and you haven't even worked out the particulars with the individual who's setting up everything? You and her, oh yeah, well, and I put in the cost of, my fare for the trip, and this is how much I'm charging, and what she's charging is different, and so on and so forth. And I'm like, oh, wow. So bottom line is as things have gotten rough with us throughout the duration of this coaching period that we've had, where it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Because this is ridiculous. And telling her, look, get on the phone. You need to talk to this person. You need to iron out this stuff. Oh, well, she's out of the country. And that's what you use Messenger on Facebook or some other app for. You don't have to have long distance calling privileges and all that shit anymore. You know what I'm saying? Catch your ass up with the times. You all should be touching bases on a consistent base just so that you can make sure that your shit is together.
And so it's so funny, right? Because when we were having our last conversation, I was like, you don't even understand how unethical it was for you to be taking money for people for something that may not happen. And 9 times out of 10, like the average entrepreneur, that shows that you have a poor money mindset. That shows that you obviously have a financial issue and you're desperate for cash. So as fast as you're getting the money, 9 times out of 10, you're going to spend it. Nine times out of 10, you don't have it in an escrow account so that if things don't pan out, that you can give them their shit back. So you're not supposed to be doing that. And she was already having trouble getting a lot of people to commit in the first place. Everybody that's supposed to commit, that's saying yes, has to find financing to be able to afford this trip and so on and so forth. But her response to me was, but that's taken care of now. And I just listened to the arrogance and the haughtiness of a person who keeps on telling me that they're all about being humble and being aligned with spirit. And I'm like, really? So your answer to that is it's taken care of? First of all, if you didn't have the initial conversation with me, the probability of it being taken care of is slim next to none, because you were going to go into your, oh my God, what is spirit telling me? And this is what this looks like, instead of realizing on a very practical level, because I read this shit. To her. I said, you're not getting communicated with, because at the end of the day, you're taking for granted how much work she's doing. She's the one that's going and talking to all of these venues, doing all of the work, setting up the tours, and you still haven't sent her any money. And mind you, this deadline for this money was quote unquote supposed to be earlier in August. And I literally had this conversation with this woman at the end of August. And so everything that you're doing is delayed. It is behind. And you know what? And if everything works out, you know what? That's great. That's great if everything works out. But the sad thing about it is that you're not supposed to go into shit messy. Things that are beyond your control are supposed to happen, and you're still supposed to make things work no matter what. And so what does that look like for you? What areas in your business are really, really sloppy and you're not dealing with it? You want to put a high ass price tag. You want to put an extra 0 on your price, but you haven't changed the customer experience. Or whatever it is, something as simple as not having contracts in order. Not only does it say that you don't give a damn about yourself, it also says that you don't give a damn about the people that you're working with, because contracts are really supposed to be written so that they protect both parties. It's supposed to take things into consideration of things that could go wrong on both ends and say, well, this is what can be done on your behalf and this is what can be done on my behalf. This is how I protect myself from any heinous things that you may do. And this is how you know that I promise to operate in integrity and not do anything heinous towards you either. So I don't know what it is. I really honestly don't know what it is, but a lot of you know what it is. You know what you're doing. And you know that you're throwing shit together. And you know you're not putting your best foot forward in everything that you do. The people that make it to the top, they strive for excellence in all things. And that right there, what that woman was doing was not excellence. That was like, what can I throw together? What the fuck can I put a title on so that it sounds like it's super duper fucking magnificent, so that I can use other people's money to travel the world, use other people's money to be able to survive and to live. It's not about providing the optimal experience. Every fucking thing you do is about an optimal experience. And you're talking to a woman who does online summits and all kinds of things to make sure that when people, they say it to me all the time, I've never been to an event like this. I've never experienced camaraderie like this. I've never been through anything like this ever before. And why? Because beyond just saying, hey, we did your interview, or hey, I got the payments, and hey, these people enroll, it was about how do we make this something that people will never forget. And not because it was a motherfucking horrific experience, but because it was top notch. So cross your T's, dot your I's, get yourself in order. Don't be tacky and then think and get all cocky because things worked out in the end. Because you know what? Living like that, when Murphy's Law is real, when anything and everything that can go wrong will go wrong when you don't need it to, the last thing you need to be doing is setting shit up so that when it does go wrong, shit is awful. Because people are very forgiving when they know that things aren't in your control. But when they find out that you have asked it, that's how you ruin your reputation. So that's your nugget for today. Definitely going to make sure that I try to keep these kind of sweet and simple, especially since the podcasts on Mondays get a little long. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, That's it, y'all. I love you. That's your nugget for today. Get out there, beast that shit. Real women don't bitch. We get shit done. And by the way, for those of you that are listening that need help with sales, head on over to augustcrenshaw.com/sales academy. And let's look at what it is to learn how to sell and be energetically aligned. A lot of you, it's not just about knowing how to sell. You're empathetic and you're introverted. So you're really particular about the people that you work with. And the kickoff isn't until the end of September. So you still got time to do an inquiry with me, do the application, have a conversation to make sure that it's a good fit for you. So until next time, I'm out of here. Deuces.
Thank you for joining me today. Remember to cultivate a mindset that is biased towards taking action. No bitching, whining, or complaining. Here, our mantra is, real women don't bitch, we get shit done. See you next week as I continue to bring you what you need to keep your head in the game and beast your business. Don't forget to hit subscribe and leave us a 5-star review. Would you like a specific topic covered? Have a question you would like answered live? Then head on over to realwomendontbitchpodcast.com. Subscribe to my email list, hit me up, and I got you. Interested in being a guest speaker? You walk the walk? Then you can sign up on the website too. This is your #1 advanced mental conditioning specialist for entrepreneurs, Mrs. Raw, Real, and Relentless. Signing out. Deuces.
Inspire, empower, grab your girls and soar a little higher. Unlock the fire in you.